Joining me now is Wendy Davis, former Texas state senator and Democratic nominee for governor. Chris Wilson, former director of research for Ted Cruz's 2016 presidential campaign. And full transparency here, Chris, on this. You are doing polling for the reelect for Ted Cruz. So I want to make sure people know that. Wendy, let me start with you, and thanks for coming on the show. So you have Beto O'Rourke, the congressman, heading to Waco, San Antonio later. The idea seems to be run up the score with these young voters. But as Garrett pointed out, millennials are not the most reliable vote. Is this the right strategy? What other choice does he have?
You know, Garrett's right that it's all in the numbers right now. And the super exciting thing that we're seeing in early vote among those millennial voters, we've got a 514% increase in their turnout thus far in this midterm election over the 2014 midterm election. And it's not just the young voters that we're seeing an extraordinary surge in. We're seeing a surge in new voters. 200,000 people have voted in this race who have never voted in Texas before. And to put that in perspective for you, in California, only 70,000 new voters have voted at this point. 214% increase in Latino voters. And we're seeing a surge in that very important vote that Beto has been appealing to with suburban women, and also a big surge in African-American voters, too.
Let me ask you about the women factor here, because you do make that point. When you look at some of these key groups as it relates to recent polling, Congressman O'Rourke is only up, I think, 7 with women. Does that number need to be higher for him to be successful?
Actually, if he can hold that number or somewhere close to that and continue to see the increase in Latino, African-American, and young voters, I really believe that he can close that gap. And the great thing that we're seeing from Beto, he's running through the finish line tape in this race. He is traveling 4 or 5 different places every single day, exciting people, and just giving every ounce of energy that he's got to help remind every voter in this state that we have an opportunity together to solve some of the problems that we're concerned about right now, and together to overcome what we're seeing coming out of the Trump administration, and that is so unappealing to a lot of us here in this state and our values.
Let me pull up that graphic we just had on screen, Chris, that Wendy just spoke to about the key groups involved in this race. And if you look, you can see Congressman O'Rourke up 16% with independents. You're looking at these numbers, I know. Are you worried about that? And should your guy be worried about that?
No, those numbers are wrong. Senator Cruz is going to win independents by double digits. And the beauty about Texas is when he's right.
You seem awfully confident.
I am. The beauty of Texas is we know who's already voted.
You're looking at different data?
No, we look at absentee ballots. We look at early vote figures. The numbers that Wendy pointed out are right, but Senator Cruz is winning those by double digits. That's the bottom line, is we can go look at where the vote's coming from. It's coming from Republican areas. And you point where O'Rourke's campaigning today. He's in a Republican area in Waco, Texas, that Senator Cruz is going to win overwhelmingly. Senator Cruz today is in South Texas, trying to win the Hispanic vote. In 2012, in his first election, he got 42% Hispanic vote. This year, his goal is to win the Hispanic vote. So this is not going to be a traditional election.
Let me pull back for a second, because you talk about the Hispanic vote, and you look at what's happening on a national level. President Trump has been talking about birthright citizenship. He's been talking about troops to the border. How do border politics play for Ted Cruz in a place like Texas?
You know, it's a great question, because at the beginning of this cycle, we spent a lot of time, I also worked for Governor Abbott in Texas, doing focus groups around the state with Hispanic voters. And the thing that we found that was probably so surprising to those that sat behind the glass watching the focus groups is those people who are most passionate about building a wall, those people who are most passionate about border security were Hispanic voters in Texas. And so that's why you're going to see Senator Cruz and Governor Abbott do very, very well with Hispanics. I predict Governor Abbott will win Hispanics. I think Senator Cruz will come very close to winning Hispanics.
Chris Wilson, Wendy Davis, lots of eyeballs on Texas, gang. Thank you both for joining us. I appreciate it.